William & Mary's 100th year of football was a rousing success as the Tribe posted a 9-2 regular season and qualified for the NCAA playoff for the fourth time in school history. The 1993 team set the school record for most wins in a four-year period by compiling a 33-14 mark since 1990. It also became the sixth squad in school history to win at least 9 games, including 8 straight victories to close the regular season. Contrasting William & Mary's historical centennial celebration was its impressive start in the Yankee Conference. By hammering out a 7-1 league record, the Tribe captured the Mid-Atlantic Division title in its new league. The season began at Friendly Zabel Stadium with a 27-14 conference victory over New Hampshire. The Tribe jumped out to a 14-0 first quarter lead on a 14-yard touchdown pass from Sean Knight to Greg Parker and a 1-yard run by Troy Keene. Knight struck again on a 30-yard pass to Mike Tomlin as the Tribe led by 7 at halftime. The second half was dominated by the Tribe's defense as linebacker Eric Lambert earned the Yankee Conference Defensive Player of the Week honors. A 24-yard TD pass to Terry Hammonds capped the Tribe's first ever Yankee Conference victory. William & Mary revived a fierce rivalry with Delaware in a hard-fought, nail-biting contest. The Tribe opened the scoring with a 6-yard run by Troy Keene, but Delaware's punishing ground attack answered with 5 TDs to lead 35-7 with 10 minutes to play. Keene scored again on a 4-yard run, but the Hens countered to lead 42-14 with 3:39 left. Then the comeback began. Todd Durkin, quarterbacking in place of the injured Sean Knight, galloped in for 19 yards. On the ensuing onside kick, Terry Hammonds came up with the bobbled ball, and the Tribe had new life as Mark McCain carried for a touchdown. Now down 42-28, a partially blocked punt enabled Durkin to engineer another lightning-quick scoring drive, capped by a 30-yard diving catch by Hammonds to pull the Tribe within 7. But that's where the luck ran out for William & Mary as the next onside kick was recovered by the Hens and, clinging to their 42-35 lead, held on for the last minute 10. On the road again, the Tribe faced Division 1A Tulane University in the Louisiana Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Despite forcing 3 Green Wave turnovers and holding Tulane to less than 300 yards of offense, the Tribe, without the services of Sean Knight, was held scoreless by a stingy Green Wave defense. On the bright side, Craig Staub took on the blocking of a Division 1A unit and finished with 12 total tackles and a tackle for a loss. Quarterback Gerald Davis turned in the best performance of his career, and defensive end Melvin Griffin added an interception, as did strong safety Andy Ruckman. Little did the William & Mary players know that this shutout would serve as the catalyst to the biggest offensive explosion in school history. The Tribe returned home for Week 4 in order to celebrate the 100th year of the program's existence with a matchup against Harvard. Former captains were part of the special pregame activities as the 2 oldest schools in the country prepared to do battle on the gridiron. When Knight hit Mike Tomlin with a 39-yard scoring strike, William & Mary's scoring frenzy began. Knight connected with Terry Hammonds to convert a 58-yarder. And again, with a 25-yard pass to William & Mary's wideouts, continued to dominate Harvard's man-to-man coverage. Even the defense got into the act as Stephon Moody caused a fumble right into Andy Ruckman's hands, who sprinted 31 yards for the touchdown. Derek Fitzgerald and Sean Knight scored on fourth quarter runs to finish off the Crimson 45-17. Fitzgerald, starting his first game of the year after recovering from preseason knee surgery, churned out 115 yards on 18 carries, starting what would become a school record string of 6 straight 100-yard games and providing a dangerous balance to the Tribe's running and passing games. The Tribe kicked off October at the 47th Oyster Bowl in Norfolk against longtime rival Virginia Military Institute. In perfect autumn weather, Fitzgerald and his running back cohorts overpowered the Keydets for 7 touchdowns and 413 yards rushing. Senior James Blocker Bodley, already the school's all-time kick returner, turned in the day of his career as he opened up the scoring on a 5-yard run. Then, Fitzgerald put William & Mary up 14-0. Not to be outdone, the Tribe passing game racked up 219 yards on plays like this 56-yarder to Fitzy. Blocker Bodley scored 2 more first-half touchdowns for a commanding 28-0 halftime lead. Sean Knight converted a rushing TD. Then Fitz added his second TD of the game. And Blocker Bodley added his career-high 4th TD of the game in the final quarter to give William & Mary a convincing 49-6 win. All told, the Tribe had the second biggest offensive day in school history with 651 total yards. The following week, William & Mary traveled to Boston, where the Northeastern Huskies got their turn trying to cool the Tribe's red-hot offense. Craig Staub got the Tribe on the board on Northeastern's first possession by sacking quarterback Plarzell Pearl for a safety. And the rout was on. In an amazing 16-minute stretch, the Tribe scored on 6 straight possessions. Derek Fitzgerald started the spree. Then, Knight hit Corey Ludwig with a 6-yard scoring strike. 2 minutes later, Knight hit Tomlin with a 32-yarder, and it was deja vu 4 minutes later when the duo connected for an 18-yard scoring play. After Chris Dawson added a 43-yard field goal with 42 seconds remaining, the first half appeared to be over. The sophomore linebacker, Stephon Moody, picked off a Pearl pass. And Knight showed how deadly turnovers can be by hitting Ludwig with a 31-yard TD on the next play for a 39-0 halftime verdict. Knight found Ludwig for the 3rd time, and even backup quarterback Matt Byrne caught a 16-yard touchdown pass to make it a 53-6 final. William & Mary returned to Zabel Stadium for Week 7 and the school's extraordinary tercentenary homecoming celebration. The weather was sunny and the skydivers were right on time as William & Mary prepared to feast on the Villanova Wildcats in front of the 17,616 fans. The opening kickoff spelled doom for the Wildcats as reserve cornerback Mike Britt provided a ball-jarring hit and James Blocker Bodley recovered. Derek Fitzgerald galloped into the end zone from 14 yards. Early in the second quarter, Knight hit Ludwig with an 11-yard pass, but the feisty Wildcats made it 14-10 just 3 minutes later. Knight targeted Ludwig again for a TD, this time on a 37-yard play. That pass gave Ludwig an incredible streak of 5 straight touchdown catches over 2 games. Knight scored a TD of his own to put William & Mary up 28-10 at halftime. Greg Parker opened up the second half by scoring on a 20-yard run, and Knight continued the scoring streak on a 9-yard sprint. Not to be forgotten, Fitzgerald plunged in from a yard. Chris Dawson finished off the scoring with a 26-yard field goal for a 51-17 homecoming victory. This marked only the second time in school history that a William & Mary team achieved back-to-back 50-point games while completing the highest scoring 4-game stretch in the program's 100 years of existence. It was back to the foul weather for Week 8, and an in-state rival, James Madison, got the upper hand early with a 90-yard kickoff return. But William & Mary's steady offense slowly fought its way back into the game. Derek Fitzgerald's 20-yard run with 4:05 to go in the first quarter capped a 10-play, 68-yard drive, followed by a 1-yard plunge by Troy Keene. James Madison evened the score minutes later. Chris Dawson booted a 43-yard field goal, but the Dukes still took a 20-17 lead into the locker room. In convincing fashion, an inspired Tribe team returned for the second half and jumped on the Dukes early in a 9-play, 71-yard scoring drive. Fitzgerald finished the game with 139 yards and 2 TDs through the mud. It was 3 and out for the Dukes in the next possession. Sensing the momentum change, Knight immediately hit Corey Ludwig with a 41-yard pass play. 3 plays later, Knight connected again on a 29-yarder to Terry Hammond. Greg Parker bowled his way for 12 yards up the middle, and Troy Keene punched in 2 plays later to give the Tribe a 31-20 edge. With its 5th straight win secured, Tribe players and fans could sense their team would be tough to beat down the stretch. With its inaugural campaign in the Yankee Conference came back-to-back road games in New England in November. At Maine, William & Mary served notice its first play of scrimmage when Knight hit Mike Tomlin with an 85-yard scoring strike, which is tied as the 3rd longest scoring pass in school history. William & Mary stuffed Maine on its next possession and used only 4 plays to score on its next drive with Derek Fitzgerald bursting 42 yards. Fitzgerald went on to eclipse the 100-yard mark for a school record 6th straight time. Knight hit Mike Tomlin with a 61-yard pass play to set up a Corey Ludwig TD pass. A Jason Miller interception set up the Tribe's 4th scoring drive, which culminated in yet another Knight-Ludwig combo. Just before halftime, Maine witnessed yet another launch to Ludwig, a beautiful 51-yarder, for a 34-17 lead at intermission. The Tribe opened up the second half scoring when Knight connected on his 5th TD pass of the game, this time a 19-yarder to Warren Rourke. With the Tribe up 40-23, Knight broke the school record he set just 3 weeks earlier when he made good on his 6th TD pass of the game. And who else but Corey Ludwig got open in the end zone. Ludwig finished the game with 7 catches for 123 yards and a school record-tying 4 TD catches. UMass provided much of the same weather as Maine, but entered with a 6-game win streak of its own. The Minutemen featured the league's top rusher in Rene Ngalia and the league's 2nd-rated defense. Unfortunately for UMass, William & Mary owned the league's defensive crown, and the Tribe's top troops weren't about to relinquish their title as Jason Miller blocked a 26-yard field goal on the Minutemen's first possession. The Tribe offense capitalized as Chris Dawson opened the scoring with a 29-yard field goal. The Minutemen went up 7-3, but the Green and Gold came back and scored on a 4-yard pass from Knight to Greg Parker. Troy Keene capped a 12-play, 74-yard drive to give William & Mary a 17-7 halftime lead. William & Mary's defense held again to open the second half, while Knight and company marched downfield where Keene scored on a 9-yard run. The Minutemen rallied for a pair of TDs to pull to within 3 points, but a calm, cool, and collected Knight settled everyone's fears with an 11-play, 80-yard drive which culminated with one of the most spectacular plays of the season. A 12-yard pass to Michael Tomlin, who one-handed it for the score. The Tribe defense held again, and William & Mary chalked up another TD pass to Tomlin. Terrence Deans recovered a bobbled punt in the 4th quarter, and Keene scored again 7 plays later, giving the Tribe a 45-28 victory, proving that whether on the road or at home, William & Mary was a force to be reckoned with. The University of Richmond came to Zabel Stadium with hopes of snapping a 4-game losing streak to the Tribe. Although the Spiders scored first on a field goal, William & Mary methodically took the lead with a Derek Fitzgerald darting 20-yard scoring run. William & Mary's defense held on the next possession, and Knight's passing attack took the Tribe back downfield before Troy Keene punched it in for a 14-3 margin, and the Tribe offense continued to roll. Fitzy turned in a 145-yard rushing day. Knight continued his precision, and Troy Keene punched it over again, giving the Tribe a 21-3 halftime advantage. The Spiders put forth one last effort by scoring the first 2 touchdowns in the second half. But again, Knight's passing attack proved too much for Richmond as he marched the Tribe 66 yards downfield. When inside the 5, all the green and gold had to do was give the ball to burly Troy Keene, and he had his 3rd touchdown of the game. Chris Dawson sealed the victory with a 24-yard field goal in the 4th quarter, and the Tribe calmly celebrated. For the players knew they would be putting their 8-game win streak on the line the next weekend in the NCAA playoffs. The day after the Richmond game, word came from the NCAA that the Tribe would be traveling to Lake Charles, Louisiana to face 3rd-seeded McNeese State. It looked as if the game would go down to the wire, and the teams didn't disappoint the more than 17,000 fans on hand. McNeese received the kickoff and began its march downfield. But it was the Tribe's defense that came up big first when Tim Cagle recovered a McNeese fumble. As many opponents learned this season, giving Sean Knight the football with good field position can be very dangerous. Knight took the Tribe downfield and scored on a 5-yard run. The Cowboys showed why they were so highly touted by quickly battling back and grabbing a 14-7 lead. But Troy Keene tied it early in the second quarter on a 1-yard plunge. Knight left the game with a sprained wrist in the second quarter and didn't return until late in the game. Down by 7, and with Todd Durkin at the controls, the Tribe went up 21-20 when Keene scored his 2nd TD of the game on another short yardage plunge. Late in the first half, McNeese fumbled again, this time on a failed punt return effort, and the Tribe had the ball on the McNeese State 18-yard line with 1 minute to go. Designated TD man Troy Keene again plowed in from 2 yards to give the Tribe an impressive 28-20 halftime lead. After intermission, the Cowboys managed a touchdown and 2 field goals to go up 34-28 with 1:46 to go, and the Tribe season came down to one last drive. With Sean Knight back in the game, he took the green and gold from its own 31 to the Cowboys' 20-yard line. But a 4th and 6 attempt to Corey Ludwig didn't convert, and the spectacular season ended halfway across the country. After their arrival back in Williamsburg, the postseason awards started to roll in. Many players were rewarded for one of the most consistent teams in William & Mary history. Leading the way was senior defensive tackle Craig Staub, who was named the Yankee Conference Defensive Player of the Year and was selected to 4 All-America teams, including the Academic All-America squad. Offensively, Sean Knight's passing prowess led him to an NCAA record with a pass efficiency rating of 204.6, shattering the old mark by more than 23 points. As a team, the Tribe broke the school's 11-game scoring record with 414 regular season points, an average of 37.6 points per game, while finishing the season ranked number 10 in the country. The playoff appearance was the school's 4th since 1986, and the program's 6th postseason showing in the last 8 years. The offensive unit finished number 6 in the nation in total offense and number 7 scoring, while the defense ranked number 12 in pass efficiency and number 13 in total defense. On the conference level, the Craig Staub-led defense led the Yankees, while the team also finished number 1 in pass defense and scoring offense. In retrospect, the 100 years of football celebration turned into one of the finest seasons in William & Mary history. An explosive offense and a steady defensive unit combined for 12 exciting weeks of gridiron action.